thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your days. Some of you guys may be back at school, maybe not, but I think it's still vacation for Paradise Valley, maybe Deer Valley. But anyhow, I want to thank you guys again for joining us here tonight. I'm not seeing too many red coaches shirts, so that tells me there's a lot of first-time coaches. Is that true? Raise your hand, first-time coaches. Wow, this season. Cool. Well, first of all, thank you guys for choosing I9 Sports for your youth sports program. Definitely excited to have you part of our program and have an awesome winter season for you. So before we get started, there's just a little intro kind of promo video I'd like to play. So we'll go ahead and get started with that.
We've been coming to I9 for a year now, and I like it because the practices are on the same day as the game. It's very organized, and you know what to expect time and time again, and season again.
Hi, my name is Brent. I coach iOS 10, which is basically 5-, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds youth soccer. I9 is awesome because we really enjoy it just as parents, watching the kids really focus on themselves and us not necessarily having such a competitive spirit, but being more focused on just the kids enjoying themselves and having a good time.
Today's sportsmanship value for our medals is going to be about being a good teammate. Does anyone have a really quick example of being a good teammate?
Like a sportsmanship.
That's a good basketball example. What about in real life? What about being a good teammate? How about when you help your parents clean the kitchen? You're on a team in your family, right? So coaches and I are going to be looking for really good teammates today. That means I should see a ton of passes. Ton of good passes, tons of talking on offense and defense. Hey, I got my man. I got your man.
We've made a lot of great friends just through this community. We've got some lifelong friends now. We've got kids that are always wanting to be on the same team year after year, and I9 accommodates that. They allow us to be able to have the buddy system with the teams so that we can choose what teams we want to be on the next year if we've played with other kids before, and it allows us to really create good relationships. I love I9. I'm going to be back next season. See ya.
1, 2, 3, hard work! Go, go!
You're a big group hug. Come here. Come here, guys. Come on. I'm not going to cry, but y'all going to make me cry. Come here. Come here. Loud as we can. I9 football on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I9 football!
Cool. You guys excited? All right, cool. I watch that every time, and it's just it's a lot of fun. It's just a preview of what to expect of the season. So my name is Aaron Finger. I'm the program director of Lean Ogre for this franchise. I started about 3.5 years ago. I grew up here in Scottsdale, went to U of A. I was in the film business for a while, so I was a producer for animation for some of those movies like Sin City, Tron, Thor. I lived in India for a couple of years before I moved back here with my family. Those are my two boys there. One's 6 and one's 3 now, so they're both in the program. Just was looking for a change out of the corporate world, you know, trying to do something fun, something different that I can involve my kids in later on in life, you know, as a participant, and then, you know, working for the business eventually as well. And so it's been a lot of fun. We started at our Esperanza location on the winter of 2014, so it's a little over 3 years now that we've been around, and have expanded quite a bit. Over the summer, we took over the Goodyear, Ahwatukee location, so now we're kind of rounded out the north side. There's only one other franchise owner, and he's out like in the Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler area, so we're like number 2 in the nation in terms of size. So pretty well rounded in the valley now, and you know, we started our first season with 150 kids, and this last season was our biggest. We had about 1,700 for the fall season. We're looking about right around the same, I think, for the winter season as well. Possibly adding one more location in Levine, and that's going to round us out pretty well over the map. We have a few of our staff members. Some of you guys may have talked to Robert. He's going to be at our Roadrunner Park location. He's our site manager there. You'll meet Will here in a second. He's our lead instructor that kind of looks over all the sports. You know, he coaches a bunch of locations as well, but kind of overall oversees our instructors. You see Craig over here. He's our soccer instructor at Esperanza. He's been around a few seasons. And then one of our other instructors, Keyshawn, is visiting from the Ahwatukee location we have. So you guys, did everyone get their preliminary rosters? You guys all should have got that? Cool. So one of the first questions we get all the time is, I signed up to be an assistant coach, but I'm only listed as a coach. And a lot of times, you know, people freak out about that, but rest assured, not to worry. So we opened up the head coach option this last season because we had a bunch of repeat coaches that felt comfortable actually coaching now. A lot of times we get a bunch of first time, oh, hold on a second. Thanks, Will. Yeah, so we used to get a lot of just first-time, you know, coaches that just want to be, you know, helping out there, but don't want to be really responsible for running drills or whatnot. So, but then they kept coming back and felt more and more comfortable with coaching, and they wanted to just run their own practice. They didn't really, you know, feel like they needed a lot of assistance, and that's great. So we have the head coach option for you guys that want to really come up with your own practice plan. Every other week we're gonna send out a practice plan for you that you can use. Otherwise, you can come up with your own material. But if you did sign up to be an assistant coach and you're still the only coach listed on the roster, rest assured we have a staff instructor for all of our sports at all the locations that will help you facilitate the practice and everything else. So, you know, if you want them to run it for you, or you can just assist them, that's fine. Just talk to them, communicate with them. They'll be on the field every week. You know, there's only a few instances. You know, the 3 years I've been doing this, an instructor, you know, called in sick or whatnot, and at that case, you know, you guys should have the practice plans to run the practice, feel comfortable doing it. It's really basic fundamentals that we're teaching, so anyone that can kind of read a practice plan can really do the drills that we're doing. So at the worst case, but I think we've only had maybe one time that's ever happened in 3 years that I haven't been able to find a, you know, replacement instructor to fill in for that. Okay, so this coaches meeting is representing I think 4 different locations: our Esperanza, our Roadrunner, Shiloh, Community Church, and the Ridgeline. So try to start combining these, doing them at the Peter Pipers. That way it opens it up to everybody, and you know, we can get everybody involved. So we'll talk a little bit about our Esperanza. Have the field set up there. We have 4 teams of t-ball, 2 teams of the t-ball, 2 teams of coach pitch, 8 teams of soccer, 4 teams of flag football, and a cheerleading team. The schedule is going to range from 9 to about 11:45. There's no blackout days this season. It's 7 straight weeks on Saturdays. And the picture day is actually going to be week 2, and we'll talk about picture day in just a little bit here. An old slide. Whoops. Yeah, so Roadrunner, the slide didn't make it, but we have 4 teams of football, about 8 or 10 teams of soccer, and 8 teams of t-ball as well. And the schedule ranges there from about 9 to 12 as well. Ridgeline, 4 teams of basketball, 2 teams of soccer. Schedule ranges 1 to 4. Again, no blackout dates. Roadrunner picture week is week 2. Same with Shiloh, basketball, 2 teams, no blackout dates.
Days at a different location in the gym?
Yeah, so if you guys are reading that, very observant. Thank you for bringing that up. So for the people that are going to be at Ridgeline and Shiloh, just because the numbers are a little bit smaller, we're going to have them shoot at the next convenient location, which happens to be at the Esperanza. So you guys, since you guys start in the afternoon, you can come out to picture day in the morning. But with the picture day, again, we'll talk about a little bit more. If you guys can't make a particular picture day, you're welcome to go to a different location that we have, and we'll be sending out that information, you know, in our newsletter or the email that you'll get next week, our league launch. You'll be able to see that. So, thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so talk about a little bit of what sets us apart from you know, what's I9 Sports. So I to the 9th power, it's, you know, 9 values that the founder came up with when he started this league. I9 is imaginative, inspirational, instructional, informative. But really, the 3 things that set us apart is fun, safety, convenience. Fun, you know, we always take buddy requests. It's equal playing time for everybody. We give sportsmanship medals out. You know, the 3- and 4-year-olds get a stamp. We really focus on fun. It's really a non-competitive league. I mean, we do have some of our locations have more teams, and there is a little bit more of a competitive aspect to it. But really, this league's about getting your kids involved in sports, having fun, not feeling the pressure on the sideline from the parents screaming at you, you know, and just that it's just a different vibe than a more competitive league out there. Safety, we have all you guys sign this parental pledge. Essentially, it's just refrain from the negative sideline behavior. You know, I myself, the parent, will refrain from the most important outcome is a kid to have fun, refrain from any negative sideline behavior, and we really enforce that. So, you know, if in fact,
Castro to 4042, leather 161, your large pepperoni black olive ready at the front.
If there's you know, a parent that's being a little bit overzealous on the field and active, and you know, that's when we have our site staff instructors kind of looking out for them, and we give them a warning at first, but you know, really we want you guys to be the leaders out there and really know that this is about the kids, it's about having fun, it's not about the score, it's not about the call the ref might have made. You know, that's the most important thing. And then convenience, you know, for the most part, it's practices and games once a week on Saturdays. Last season we tried a traveling option with football between our Esperanza Park, Esperanza School and the Roadrunner. The divisions this season didn't work out to be the same, to meet up like that, but occasionally we might, just for a couple more teams added, have some teams playing each other. Okay, so we talked about a couple of things that you guys will be getting throughout the season. Every Tuesday on the left-hand side, you'll see our bi-weekly practice plan. That's going to have your sportsmanship value of the week or the following 2 weeks, along with the practice plans that we've kind of created for those particular 2 weeks. Again, feel free to use them. You know, take a look at them. If you want to be a head coach and come up with your own stuff. This is for the most part the stuff our instructors will be going off of. Sometimes they'll divert from the practice plan a little bit and come up with their own things as well. But you know, if you wanted to run your practice and you work on some drills, you're welcome to use that material. And again, the sportsmanship lesson, for the sportsmanship value topic, that's something our instructors are going to be going over. As you saw in the video, we usually have our instructor kind of going over that value lesson and you guys standing around, engaging, asking questions as well. But we make sure that our instructor leads that value lesson just to make sure it gets done. We had some seasons where it wasn't getting done at all, or the coach forgot to do it and you do it at the end. That doesn't really, kind of defeats the purpose. So. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see our weekly newsletter. We send that out every Wednesday to all the parents in the program. We always have a site manager going around the field capturing some pictures. You guys are out there coaching, so you can't get a lot of good pictures. So we'll have our site staff, you know, try to get a bunch of good pictures. We'll post them to our Smug Mug site, and then you'll be able to click on that picture link or that red box there and download and share the picture with your friends. And we'll always tell you what the sportsmanship value topic is so that you guys can reinforce it at home as well and practice that, especially if you have an award winner. You can kind of go over what that topic was. And then just important information about the season, picture day, different things like that. All right, so we'll get into kind of a season overview, what to expect. So when you guys get to the field, we ask you guys to arrive about 30 minutes prior to your practice time on opening day. So if it's a 9 o'clock practice, we like to get there at 8:30. And that's just to have a smooth check-in process. We ask the parents to arrive 15 minutes before, and that's, again, to just make sure we can get all the jerseys and everything distributed out before the practice starts. We don't impede on that time. So as you can see in the photo there, you'll see, first thing you'll see when you come out, you don't need to check in at our canopy. We always have a canopy out with the site staff for you guys that are watching this, meeting, and for those of you watching at home, you guys can just look for your sports sign out on the field. That'll be like that, or at the gym. And then once you see that, you'll be able to see your team number sign kind of laid out. And then behind the team sign, you'll find your coach's bag, which will also have your team number on it. Double check that before you start digging in there, because sometimes we might mix it up with the scramble of opening day. But just double check FO2 matches your sign, TO2 or FO2. Since all you guys don't have coaches shirts, you'll want to pull out your name tag. So we ask you guys to wear these each week. It just helps the parents let you know their name and the kids identify your name as well. If you want, we're happy to keep these for you at our canopy, so you don't have to lose it. You can drop it off at the end of the day. We'll keep it with your metal bag, and that way, we'll just make sure you have them each week. And then you'll have your coach's shirt. So this is our winter season. Obviously, it's a little bit chilly out in the morning. If you guys can, just layer up and wear your coach's shirt over a long sleeve shirt or something like that. We'd appreciate it. So we do have bathrooms, obviously, at the facility. So if you guys need to change, just use the restroom. That's why we asked you guys to get there a little bit earlier. Change into your coach's shirt, and this way, the parents can identify you guys as their coaches when they arrive as well. And in the email that we'll send out to parents on Monday, we ask them to arrive 15 minutes early, find their team sign, check in with their coach. So it's a very smooth process at this point. We have it pretty well dialed in. Then the next thing you'll find, and really the only thing you'll need, is your roster. So if you guys can just pull that out, and then you'll have your roster. You can kind of greet the kids. One thing we like to have you guys not do, and I know every time I say it, it never happens, but if you guys can refrain from starting to dig in the bags and get the jerseys out, it makes things go a little bit smoother. We have time during the practice to come up with a team name and things like that. So if you guys can just wait till, usually we wait until about 5 minutes before the practice starts, or if you have about 75% of the kids, then we'll have you make the way out to the field, and these rosters will have the field number written on them. The jerseys will all be flipped to the right color, either the navy or white, so you don't have to worry about that. But the main reason why we don't want to have you guys digging in your bags and pulling out jerseys is because if you're down here kind of digging out the jersey, the parents can't really see you, they can't see you as a coach. There's a bunch of people that day, so it just makes it a lot easier to identify you as a coach, for you guys just to greet the kids, have the kids just kind of hang out behind you, again, until you have about 75% of the kids, and then you can have them make their way out to the field. But also inside your bag, so yeah, just pull out your roster. You can leave everything on the bag. If you're T-ball, you'll have your T-ball hats, and if you're flag football, you'll have your belts in there as well. The white ones, these will all be on the roster as well. The white ones represent the small and extra small jerseys, and the black is the medium and large jerseys. One thing that you can do if you're killing time before parents get there is go ahead and put the name tags on the jerseys, and we like to have you guys just put those on, right above the heart area, so you can kind of lay those out. The jerseys will all have the sizes on there, so you can know whose is who. The labels are right here in the bottom corner, so you'll be able to see medium goes to Bella here, and then just go ahead and peel off the name tag, put it on there. That way when she checks in, she's ready to go, has her name tag. If you're T-ball, we suggest putting the name tag on the bill of the hat, because these get left behind when you're putting on your helmets and whatnot. So this just helps. It's kind of like your lost and found name tag already there on it. So again, when you have the majority of the kids, you'll make your way out to the field, and then you can start handing out the jerseys. We like to have you guys come up with 2 team names for the first day. So pick your favorite team name. No one likes to be called the TO2s, I can promise you that. So have them call the Lightning Ninja Snakes or the Dragon Warriors. Had some really cool names come up. Pick 2 names. Make sure before you leave the day that you report your names back to our canopy, and our site manager will write it down, or give it to the instructor. They can write it down. That way we can update the rosters and everything, and you'll no longer be called the TO2s. Alright. So after you guys come up with the team names, while you're doing that, you'll see in the lower right-hand screen we have our instructors do like a mini parent meeting, just kind of a dumbed-down version of this meeting, so they have an overview of the season, you know, when picture day is, coach appreciation day, things like that, just a kind of a rundown, a little bit about themselves if they want, you know, while you guys are distributing the jerseys out, coming up with the team names, and then the instructors will walk back over to the field, and you guys can get started with the practice for the first day. Alright. Cool. When you guys leave for the day, make sure you bring back your coach's bag and just drop those off at the canopy. You don't need those any longer. Your latest roster will always be inside the jersey, but you can always, as of today, go online and download them as well. So really, the only thing you need, flag football, just leave the belts inside the bag. You can leave those with us at the canopy. Everybody else doesn't really need the bag. They can just turn those back in at the end of the day so we can use them for the next season. So, starting week 2, you guys can start arriving 15 minutes early on week 2. That's when we're going to start our sportsmanship value lesson. So, you'll see the first thing you want to do is stop by our canopy. We'll have a bag with your team number on it that you'll get your medals. So, really, first thing you do, come in, check in, and pick up your sportsmanship medal. And then, if you leave your name tag with us, you can pick up that as well. So before the practice, usually our instructor will gather all the kids, and as I was saying, you know, you saw in the video, kind of kids get gathered around. We go over the sportsmanship topic. You know, for example, these are the lessons that are online. So we'll spend the first 3 to 5 minutes going over that value lesson with the kids. Again, this will be led by the instructor, but you're welcome as coaches to kind of chime in, give some examples, ask some questions as well. We want that to be a collaboration with us, not just us kind of doing it. Because during the practice of the game, we want you guys to reinforce those lessons so that when you do award the medal at the end of the game, you know, they've heard the value word, they've heard that word, and you know they can respond to it better. So for our 3 to 4-year-old division, we have these stamps. So anyone that doesn't get a medal, we know the meltdowns are going to come. So we're prepared. Our instructors will have these stamps, and then just make sure everyone sticks out their hand and we get a stamp for everybody. And then at the end of the day, you know, we'll go over kind of the post-game wrap-up. We'll usually have you guys shake hands and go team. You guys will then award the medal to the player, and then you'll send them back to our canopy to get a picture with the medal, as you see in that picture as well. So this is kind of twofold. One, we'll record down who gets the medal so that when you check in, if you have 10 players on your team and you're forgetting who you're giving them to, you can always stop by, and as long as you send them by to get a picture with us, we'll record down their name. We can help you keep track of that. So by week 7 or by week 6, everybody should have a sportsmanship medal, and that way, because on week 7, everyone gets our participation medal as well. Alright, so picture week is week 2. So on opening day, you guys will also find in your coach's bag, and this is something that you guys can also take out of the bag since it's week 2, and just start handing them out to the parents on the team. So every child, even if it's a sibling, will need a picture packet, and you guys can hand those out. There will be an online gallery as well that they can order from, but this is just so they have it. The coaches, you'll have a form in here as well that you'll want to fill out. Because you guys are volunteering with us, one of the things we'd like to give you is just a free picture with your kids. So that's part of the league as a courtesy for you guys helping us out. And as you can see here, they're shooting this guy on a green screen. There is no team photo per se. They shoot everybody on a green screen and then do a nice digital composite at the end. So you can see it comes out with a nice, high glossy photo. Everyone's looking in the right direction. No one's picking their nose. No one's closing their eyes. So it's a lot better. A lot of people are kind of skeptical that don't know really about the technology, but it really makes a really awesome picture. And they superimpose the gold, stuff like that. A lot of fun. They have a bunch of different novelty items as well. If you guys order online, they give you this cool luggage tag as well. So if you order online, just bring the receipt with you, and then they'll take care of the rest for you. So again, on week 2, picture day, and don't forget to pull out when you're greeting your kids, your picture packets, and hand those out. It'll just make it a lot smoother. We'll send out reminders and whatnot, usually the Monday before and then the Friday, just to remind. One thing just to reinforce to the parents is just at the end of the game, hey, next week, picture week, don't forget. We want to make sure all the parents are there to get a picture, even if they don't plan on purchasing pictures. If only one person takes a picture, there's really going to be a one-person team photo. So, they'll shoot everybody regardless if they buy or don't buy. That way, at least someone that wants to have a team photo will have all the kids, in the photo. So, just reinforce that. Even if you're not buying, please come by. We'll send out a schedule for picture day. Usually, we have you guys come a little bit earlier on that day, just because it's a lot of kids at a time. We have to stagger the picture times, but we'll also, if everyone shows up on time for picture day, we'll also start practice a little bit earlier, so you're not waiting, a half hour before your practice starts after you take pictures. So week 3 is just a standard practicing game. Week 4 is our survey week. So this is something that's sent from our corporate office out in Florida. You'll get a survey from Listen 360. It's not from I9 Sports, but this is a survey that we take very serious. Make sure, fill it out for us. This is the only way we know how we're doing. It's kind of our corporate office looking down on us, but me as a league owner and our staff, everybody kind of relies on these surveys to know how we're doing. Anything we can improve upon, we always make sure we can take advantage of that and learn. So one thing I always like to say these surveys is don't wait till week 4, to tell us if something's wrong. If you guys notice something on week 1, week 2 that's bothering you, let us know so we can fix it right away and try to earn the 9s and 10s on these surveys. I just talked to a parent tonight that played with us last season, and they were upset because of the coach pitch, program. They were throwing the coach was throwing 10 to 15 pitches, and really, if you read the rule book and everything, that's just too many pitches, and it bothered her. But she didn't say anything, and that's something we could have easily fixed if we would have known about it. Our staff at the time was floating around between 2 fields, so we didn't really catch it. But that's just an example. It's 3 to 5 pitches, and then we move on because it was taking too long. So things like that. Again, you see something on week 1, week 2, let us know so we can fix it before these surveys come out. All right. Week 5 is a standard practicing game, and then week 6 is our Coach Appreciation Day. So this is just a day we kind of send out an email to the parents. You guys will get an email with a little token of our appreciation gift, and we just have the parents to recognize you. There's things they could do, gift cards or cookies or whatever. At the very least, just a thank you goes a long way for you guys that are out there and not on the sideline, helping us out, helping their kids out, teaching them life lessons, and showing them a good time with what sport's about. So we can't thank you enough, and we hope that the parents will equally show their appreciation towards you guys. And then before our final practicing game, we'll be having our Peter Piper party. That'll be on the 23rd, back over here for the Roadrunner at Springs, all the same locations. We'll have the party here. It's the Thursday before. We started doing that last season, and we found that it's a lot more successful than the Saturday. The Saturday, you get a ton of birthday party crowds, and it's just a line out the door. So Thursday night is usually 5 to 8. You can see on those the handouts today if you guys wanted to talk to your team, see if who wants to come. If they want to all pitch in and get the extra large pizza deal, that's always a good option. But if you guys reserve a table, it'll be there for you. The kids will get an ice cream eating contest. The party's a lot of fun. It's a fundraiser for us, so it's not free pizza. It is a fundraiser. We use that money for our scholarship program to help kids out and get into sports. And so we appreciate participation. You guys come. It's just a fun way to end the season. We always do a end of season raffles from Peter Piper. We also do a 20 off promotion for the next season. So if you guys are going to sign up for the spring or even summer, it's a good chance to save some money. We just do it on that pizza party day. And then the week before the pizza party, actually 2 weeks before, we'll give you guys a coach packet envelope that looks like this. This is 2 weeks before you'll get this. And inside you'll find a flyer for all the parents, so just hand out the flyers that day, make sure everybody gets one. Let them know, guys, hey, this is not free pizza, so don't expect it, but if you guys want to come celebrate with the team, let us know if you're coming. If you guys as coaches want to organize it, that's awesome. You don't have to. Let them know if you plan on coming or not, because a lot of times, like last season, I had parents coming looking for the coach and they weren't here, so just communicate with them, say, hey guys, I can't make it, but if you guys want to come, it's a fun event, we appreciate it. And then you'll also have in that packet our 10 token MVP awards. All the kids will get one of these. So you guys can take these ones home, fill them out at your leisure, bring them back the following Saturday to hand out, or you can bring them to the pizza party. Usually you just hand them out on the Saturday before, that way, if you're not planning on coming or the kids, everybody's going to get one of these. And then week 7, that's the final practicing game. As you saw in the video, we have all the parents gather around, make a big tunnel, do a little eye of the tiger, kids run out, it's a blast. Instead of picking up your sportsmanship value medals, you guys will all get our participation medals on that last day. So we ask that you guys, we don't do like a ceremony, but we have you guys just sit your kids down on a semicircle around you and just call them up one by one, applaud them, hand the medal over, one by one, and just a nice little celebration. But before that, we'll have you guys before your last practice, before the game. All the parents will gather around from that tunnel and blast out for the last game. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Will to go over some of the volunteer coach expectations.
Check. How's everybody doing? Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing?
Good.
There we go. Thank you all for coming out, spend some time with us tonight. Appreciate all of the new coaches that we have out here. Definitely excited to see new faces. It's really cool, man, to get new people part of the culture and what we're doing out here. Go through the expectations for our coaches really quickly. Aaron already touched on a couple of them. Really big is the uniforms that we have. We give out the shirts and stuff for a reason. It just really cleans everything up. Also, it gives the parents that are bringing their kids to you and the opportunity to know who to talk to in case they have a question or anything comes up. Like, you're the first point of contact on the field, or one of them at least, counting the instructors. So we like to have everybody with their name tags and shirts on, if at all possible. We understand people forget laundry, all that stuff. But if you can, please just remember to have your red shirt visible with the name tag on it at all times. If you know you're going to be missing, out of town or something, please let us know as soon as humanly possible so that we can prepare and it doesn't look like chaos during the game or the practice or anything. So we always can do something. We have to know. We got to over-communicate. So days off and all that is cool, but just give us a heads up so that the kids aren't surprised, so that the parents aren't surprised, and everything can still run smoothly, even if you're not there. The point of contact for that would be your site manager, depending on who it is, where you're at. Contact the site manager in advance on an email or something, or if you know, like a couple weeks, usually I have people come just tell me. I won't be here 2 weeks from now, I've got something going on, a wedding. Cool, we'll be ready. We'll have somebody step in. Usually what happens is really cool too, other parents will help out. They'll say, yeah, hey, I'm comfortable, let me jump in and just give a hand for the week. So yeah, just let us know ahead of time, that'd be awesome. For our playing time, we want to make sure it's even out as much as possible. Again, this is a non-competitive league, so we're not looking for anyone to stand out or anybody to start necessarily. You can split those every week for all they care, as long as the kids are all getting reps in. We're really big on trying to get the kids better, more than trying to get them W's, because the records, and half the teams don't have other teams anyway, so it's not like a standings thing. You want to focus on the reps they get. Make sure they get as many opportunities as humanly possible to get better at the sport, no matter what it is, in that half-hour block, 25-minute block that we have for our practice times. And that just ensures everybody has a good time. Kids like to play more, and sometimes in the games too, practices are important because the games, a lot of the times the more aggressive kids will do more, just by nature. This kid's faster, so he gets to the ball first a lot, so he gets a lot of touches. The other kids may not see the same things in the game, so the practice is a time where it can be evened out, and everybody can get the chance to experience the game and get better and have fun with it as well. Thank you, sir. Sportsmanship medals. We just in general, just the sportsmanship all overall, that idea, we really want to make sure we bring that attitude to the field. and to the kids as well. Show them that it's not about the score. Tell them if you have to, because they'll ask. They'll say, hey, you know, what's the score? Or, you know, it's wrong or something. It doesn't matter. You know, let's just focus on the next pass. Let's focus on getting better. Just keep trying to reaffirm that, or just kind of shove it to the side. Scores and everything aren't an all be all for us. We want to make sure they're not focused on it. Our sportsmanship values also go along with that, and it's hard for us to kind of preach or promote that if we're not necessarily doing it. Sportsmanship values for each week as well. We're giving one out, like Aaron said, once every week starting the second week. So second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth weeks, you should be giving out as many as you need to have it done by the time the 6th week is ended, so that everyone can get 2 medals at the end of the season on week 7. And that just avoids, again, confusion, because if you forget, you got to get out extra ones, or it looks where some kid doesn't get one, and someone always notices that if the kid missed their medal during the season. So make sure you're giving one out, or a few out, however many you need to every week, and just keep track of it with the site manager, working with them at, every week. And the fields too, for our coaches, we're also leading that. We want to make sure that most of these places, actually none of these places are ones that we own. So we're at usually elementary schools too. So it's really, really, really important that we focus on cleaning up after ourselves. Not everybody else specifically, but just yourself. If you got paper or the snacks that come out during the season too, just make sure the kids are putting as much as they can in the trash. If you run across something, don't walk past it. Just grab it, toss it in the garbage if you can. The kids will see it, now they know it's okay to do so as well. Really cool to set that example and have them follow it, and it works out really well. As best we can, though, we try to keep the fields clean so that everybody can enjoy it every week. And it really stinks to have your kids playing garbage if that ends up happening. Oh, last but not least, please learn the players' names if you can. I'm a teacher, so I get it. See thousands of kids, I feel like, every single season. But do your best, learn some kids' names, and not give them a cool nickname and cool shoes. Awesome hat or something like that. Do something to get to know them. Let them know that you actually identify with them somewhat or something like that, or try to. For our parent communication, again, we just want to have beautiful relationships between everybody. Parents, coaches, players, instructors, owners, if we have to, everybody. And we're also, again, the first line of defense, so we just want to over-communicate. That's the really big thing about this entire slide, just communicate. Reach out to the parents after opening day if you can. We give emails out. Email them if you can. If you're comfortable with it, we appreciate it. Just say, hey, I'm a coach. Good to meet you. Good to meet Jimmy. He's a really cool kid. Can't wait to coach with him. Also, don't be afraid to reach out if they do something well. If you're having issues, like don't be afraid to contact us. These are the parents. These are the first people I would talk to if I needed to talk to the kid. But definitely reach out if you can and congratulate at least one of the kids during the season and say, hey, great job. Appreciate the hard work you guys are putting in, and thank you for the effort, kind of thing. Just let them know they appreciate it, just like we appreciate all of you. Let the parents know about snack sign up, because they won't look at the emails. So snack sign up so that nobody's again confused when the kids are looking for a snack after the game. If you want to make a templated 1 through 10, 1 through 20 list and just email it out, I think it helps to really encourage people to it's on there? Oh, boom, there it is. Yeah, send that out. Just be over communicative with it. Just make sure we reach out to everybody as much as possible and let them know that we're here for them and here for them to learn and grow from us. Also with the pizza party as well, same thing. Just reach out, over communicate with your parents, let them know about it, because some of them will forget and they'll not show up. Kids will show up, they'll be looking for their coach, and it's confusing again. They're trying to figure out where he's at or where the table is or something like that. So at least let them know if you're not going to make it that you won't be at the party, so that everybody again is on the same page. For the rule highlights, we only changed a few, but just to give a quick overview of how we kind of run the sports. Our soccer is set up in our Pee-wee, Super Pee-wee, and Junior Senior divisions. 4 to 6 minute quarters for all of the soccer games for the littles, Pee-wee and Super Pee-wee. It's just, if you do it any longer, they get exhausted. You can't really run them for that long, so you got to give them that, and probably a little bit of breaks too. If it's soccer, they're going to be up and down a lot, chasing the ball. So make sure you're paying attention to that too as coaches. We do advertise that you get timeouts. You can always call timeout if you see your kids need a break or need a breather or something like that. Don't be afraid to give them a quick water break or something like that. But because most of the time, I know I'm an instructor, I get engaged, I'm in the game, I'm coaching / refereeing / teaching, and I'll forget. So just reach out, raise your hand, water break, or we'll take a quick break. Usually we do it after the quarters though, so it works out pretty well. During our Pee-wee and Super Pee-wee sessions, we don't have goalies. no goalies, only because it kind of, with the littles, because they may not be familiar with the sport, you'll get a situation where you have them caught up standing around and maybe not doing nothing for most of the game. You want to encourage them to move as much as possible. And it's really not necessary. You much rather have all the kids, if possible, running, trying to play, make good passes, and be a part of the game. If you need to, I've in the past set up a goalie box with cones where the kids can't run in. They can't come into this place. They kick the ball from outside of it, but anybody goes into it, we blow a whistle, stop it, and restart the game from outside of it, so that we just have kind of an area where we can't crowd the net and just have a whole bunch of kids on top of it. Junior, senior is four 8-minute quarters. 5-on-5, we do use a goalkeeper with those guys because they're a little older and more aware. We rotate them though, so don't have the same kid in the goalie box the entire game. Give everybody a chance to play as many positions as possible because nobody at this point really knows. We get mostly beginners. Most of the kids don't know what they're good at yet. So give them the opportunity to learn and try as many new things as they can. Senior division is similar for 8-minute quarters with the goalkeeper as well. And for subs, again, we want to keep the playing time as even as humanly possible. Try to play them as much as possible. Again, injuries happen. Some kids maybe will just tell you they don't want to play. It's a different situation. So play as many of the kids as you can for as many as you can. Have in your mind some kind of rotation. If it's 4-8, we usually do maybe like halfway through. Maybe at 4 minutes we'll sub everybody or something like that. Try to get something uniform so the instructor knows, so you know the kids get used to it and they know when it's time to play and when it's time to kind of get their rest in. One coach per team on the field, that's with an asterisk by it because we want to encourage the kids to be able to play alone if possible, especially the younger ones. If you can get them out there on their own, cool. If you have to have a coach on the field to kind of motivate or push or direct a little bit to help out, that's also awesome. But we want to encourage at least by week 7 to get the kids out there on their own, just like they would be in a real game, because we're trying to build as much of an in-game experience as possible to give them an idea how it is going to be when they actually play the real sport, and if they actually go into it and like it. So one coach on the field. We only have offside in the senior division. Also, no, I feel silly I have to say this, but there's no tackling, grabbing, tripping, pushing, kick, anything overly aggressive. We want to avoid that and just remind the kids, and they'll get competitive, man. Cause so they won't necessarily know if they're being too competitive, especially if they're just starting. So make sure they understand that we want to keep it safe for everybody. You don't want anybody getting hurt over this. We're just trying to enjoy ourselves, have fun, and get better. For T-ball, we have all the kids play the entire game. That includes the outfield too. So usually with the younger kids especially, it's a big enough field where you can fit them all out there and have them play something on the field in some space, some kind of empty space, and give them something to do. Outfield, if you got space, sit them out there. Just try to give them an activity or something where they're engaged in the game and they're actually paying attention. Otherwise they'll space out, run around the field, dig in the grass, or do other things. But keep them engaged, try to give them something to do. Every kid gets to bat as well, so the rotation isn't 3 outs. There are no outs for the younger kids. We just go where everybody bats one time, circle through, last person hits a grand slam, and everybody goes home, and we flip it. So then the other team gets to play then on offense or defense or what have you. They switch it up. No scores either. We won't have any scores for the little kids or stats or anything like that. Again, we're not about that. We're trying to really focus on them getting better at the skills that we're trying to practice each week. So if we can focus more on that, as far as what our cues are and everything like that, they forget about the score. They just start to get into the game. It's more fun for everybody that way. And they also get better much quicker when they're enjoying it. All the coaches from T-ball, we encourage you to help out, especially with the young ones. Again, as much as possible, try to give them the little push of independence. Give them a chance to get out there and try to play the game on their own and run back and tell you how it went, kind of thing. But if you have to have some, if you have to have it, that's fine. We understand definitely, and it helps the program out to see parents involved and to help out. We definitely want to encourage that if we can. So that's not an issue at all. But if you can, try to get them to play by themselves. For our coach pitch, like Aaron said, I'll touch on this really quick. The pitches have to be limited to about like 5 at the most. You'll have everyone out there all day if you're trying to get the kid one hit. And I understand too, I've done it before myself. Trying to get that one kid, that one hit, just to get that confidence in him so he doesn't hate the sport or see he's not upset. Because you got to still give him the 3 to 5 and out. 5 is our limit, and then we get the tee out, and they get to hit off the tee still. So it's not like a you're out thing or you can't play or get the chance anymore. You got to just hit it a different way and get to try again so we can get the rotation going. Because the faster we get through the rotations, the more reps the kids get anyway. So if you're looking for another at-bat, just encourage them to not slump over the last time and get ready for the next one. Just be prepared to try your best every single time. But 3 to 5 pitches at the most. Please, please, please limit it to 3 to 5. Remind the coaches, parents, everybody, we want to keep that going so we can get the 45-minute game as many reps as we can in that short time. Because it goes really, really, really fast, especially when you're trying to wrangle cats. Overhead pitches are preferred for our coach pitch. We have submitted to like the underhand, but again, this is you're trying to get the kids, the older ones especially, ready for the real thing. Or you're trying to get them encouraged to want to play the real thing. You don't have to whip it at the child, but give them what looks like an actual pitch. And usually we do it from the knee too, so you're not standing and throwing it downhill on them. So like take a knee, buckets right here, throw them a pitch, try to lob it if you can. When I used to pitch from, I actually would try to hit their bat with the ball instead of just trying to like throw a pitch down the pipe. Try to literally hit this. See how they're swinging, pay attention to it, and try to hit the bat if you can. And that gives them all the confidence. So a lot of times that's all they need. But to see it hit, and then they can pay attention to it and actually watch it. Same thing with the coaches and parents. They're all in the field. No outs again will be recorded. Still no scores. We're still, even with the older kids, focused on the actual skills of the game being developed. And we want to make sure we really pay attention to that. As parents, coaches, we just want to set that example. Give them the idea that we're here to get better. There we go. Basketball. For basketball, we don't do jump balls. For our Pee-wee groups, I rock, paper, scissors every time. That also goes for tie-ups during the game as well. So instead of doing a jump ball every time, that's for any level. After the juniors and seniors, they'll do jump balls. But after the first one at the start of the game, if there's a tie-up or a confused call, we rock, paper, scissors just to keep the game going. It really helps things go fast. And the kids get into it. They like it. They actually have a lot of fun. They'll beg to do it every single time. So just to keep it going, rock, paper, scissors for the littles as far as the start of the game and any kind of dead ball situations or 50-50 ball situations. And then for the older kids, jump ball for the start, rock, paper, scissors after that. For the rules for basketball specifically, it's tough because beginners have a lot of trouble maintaining the dribble and everything. It can get really tough and difficult to coach, difficult to ref and everything like that. For the littles, we can't call traveling every time they do it, so everybody would do it. Every single person would do it. So you kind of blow the whistle, and as coaches, the instructors, we get together, we all on the same page. We're cueing them to move with the ball. We got to encourage them to keep dribbling. But most of the time, it takes about 6 weeks for them to actually click it in, and they'll do it on their own eventually. But instead of penalizing them, we just kind of stop them, remind them. I usually blow the whistle and freeze you where you would have had to stop, or bring you back to where you pick your dribble up and make you pass it or shoot it from there, which encourages them to start. Again, this is what would have happened in the game, and remind them, in the real game, you would have lost the ball. Your team would have lost it. In a close game, it would have lost. It doesn't matter. You would have lost the ball, and just keep that flowing for littles through the whole session. For our juniors and seniors, it's different. I give them like the first 2 weeks, and after that, I start blowing the whistle. Now I'll genuinely turn the ball over for them because they have to learn. They're old enough to be able to do it, and you'll watch them practice. You'll see a kid dribble up and down the court in practice, and in the game, they'll start picking it up because they're just afraid of defense. But this is where we get to teach, and we get to really encourage them to keep moving with the ball, or crazy thought, pass it. Pass it. If you pick the ball up, get rid of the ball. His teammates on and that's something that we get to do because we're a different kind of league. We can actually stop and halt the game like that and just pause it and get the chance to teach as well as getting the chance to compete. But traveling, double dribbling, we got to get it out. There's just no room for it in basketball. No level of basketball where they're going to be able to go and do it. So we don't want to keep making a normalized thing here. Our littles are our only exception, and they still get warned about it. We still talk about it, and that's probably the biggest thing you have to talk about for Pee-wee basketball all the time. Just maintaining your dribble and looking for teammates instead of just trying to over dribble all the time. We have foul shots for our juniors and seniors. That's pretty cool. It's an awesome time to get the chance to teach rebounding, as well as boxing out, form shooting, things like that. And just another play for the kids to organize and have them get a chance to score too. Even some of the kids that again are not more as aggressive may not get a chance to actually shoot in game. If you get fouls, you get a chance to shoot some free throws, man, they may need something. It may work out well for them. They at least get the chance to get a fair shot in game, and it's not pretend and it's not manufactured. They get an actual chance at a shot that affects the game, which is cool. For flag football, we want all our pockets for our kids to be taped down. We'll have tape at all of our site managers' desks, and that's just because we want to avoid any more we had a broken finger or dislocation or anything like that. We want to avoid any kind of injuries. So if you have pockets on your shorts or pants or whatever you're wearing that day, remind the kids to tape them and keep them taped every week. You got to make sure we have that along with the mouth guards and any other safe equipment we require for the play. Just kind of keep track. If you see somebody missing one, we always have stuff at the site manager's desk. So just ask the site manager if you got any questions, or if the parents have questions up there. Blitzing for our flag football, you're not allowed to blitz literally until the ball is hyped. So you have to wait literally until the ball's moved. Not on hard counts, not on putts, not on any words. The ball has to be hyped to the quarterback in order for them to start moving. And on top of that, they have to be at least, as it says, 10. 7 for it'll be 10 for our 7 for our littles, 10 for the older kids. All right, at least at the most. So it's in between that range. You can't be up on the line blitzing is the point of it. You're not allowed to rush in straight from the line, so you have to be at least 7 to 10 yards back. And the instructor will have, or referee if you have one on the site, will have a beanbag that marks the space every time where the kids will have to stand. So they'll know it'll be really crystal clear. And we'll also usually mark the line of scrimmage with some kind of cone so you can see the distance between them two. It'll move every time the balls move too, so we all keep track of it. It usually goes pretty easily. When the ball leaves the QB's hands, however, so if it's hiked to me, I'm the quarterback. No one can rush unless they're 7 yards back. But as soon as I hand it off, or throw it, or get rid of it at all, that's when anyone can rush. Doesn't matter. Everybody's allowed to go get the flag after that point. Teams also may blitz as many players as they choose. If you want to send all kids you got on the field, you can. But again, it's up to us as coaches to remind the kids that there's strategy around that. It's not advantageous to blitz every single person on your team because everybody's open. So start teaching the kids to look for openings or things like that. As coaches, we can always step in and take time to teach things like easy things like that, like spacing, awareness, and also again, that's another situation where we gotta look to pass. Just looking for each other and actually playing as a team. That is allowed. Okay, I was gonna avoid. All right. Quarterbacks are allowed to run in our locations that I'm talking to here if they're being blitzed. All right. Other than that, they must be stationary and have to throw the ball or hand it off to the running back. So that means I can't hike the ball or get the ball hiked to me, pull it down, and take off like Mike Vick. I have to be getting chased to be able to have to move out of the way. We allow our quarterbacks here to defend themselves in that way, only because it really helps to move the ball, especially for the younger kids. Because it's going to be hard for some of our younger kids to throw the ball at all, let alone over people during a game, under pressure while people are blitzing when they can't move. So here we allow them, if they're being pursued, you're allowed to leave. As soon as the defender crosses the line of scrimmage, you're allowed to go. So again, if they fake blitz, you have to stay. They must cross our line of scrimmage, and the refs again will be paying attention to that before that you can actually take off and run with the ball as a running back. Pass interference will be called. It's a situational thing. We do have it. It's always up to the ref. It's a 50-50 thing anyway. So the ref really has to understand or see it as a pass interference thing before they call it. Speak to them about the things they consider PI. If it's something that bothers you, it doesn't really come up at all. All the times I've been referring to the flag for us, I haven't really had to deal with it. We do have a double possession rule though. So if the ball is in the air, both people come down with it. The offense always gets it. We just settled it that way. It's much easier that way. So offense gets all double possessions. Defense just has to try to clear the ball or get it out. So I say that to the coaches, not to the players. I wouldn't tell your kids that because then you'll have them intentionally trying to go up and create tie-ups or something like that, or trying to force that action. It happens naturally. We know how to deal with it. We know how it's going to be handled. But there's nothing that you actually have to go tell your kids, though. But just in case we were wondering, all tie-ups go to our offensive players. Last thing. We call it picking or screening or anything like that. We don't allow it in the league at all. So once the ball's handed off, and it's really easy to disguise or accidentally do to, but pretty much once the ball's handed off, everyone else has to get out of the way, except the defending players that are trying to catch the person with the flag. That includes breakaway touchdowns. So if me and Aaron running, I got the ball, Aaron's running with me, high-five me the whole way, and someone's trying to get through, they can't get through because Aaron's high-fives are so serious. then that's an automatic penalty on the offensive team. We're going to lose a touchdown because of that. The defender always has to be able to make a play on the ball. You can't get in front of them even on accident in our league. It also counts for handoffs, because a lot of the times you see what's like, it's like a basketball screen in a sense, where you get a handoff to the running back and the quarterback just stops kind of moving in a cool little way, where he blocks off anybody that can move, or it can be enough to change the play of the game, especially in a flag game where it only takes like an inch to get by somebody and you're going for a touchdown. So remember that, you can remind the players of that. No screening, blocking, or anything like that. Get out of the way. Just be safe, let them go. And then cheer with them after they score. Get crazy in the end zone after they actually score the touchdown, but no blocking, screening, or anything. It's immediate 5-yard penalty. And we got a coin toss as well for football. Refs will have that for you. The coin toss winner decides obviously whether they're going to receive, kick, which side of the field they're going to have. Our play clocks are 45 seconds long, so you have about that long to talk to your kids. It's really, I mean, it's a non-competitive league, so it shouldn't take that long to get them organized or ready to go. Simple plays, very, very simple stuff. Keep it really simple for them so they can get as many reps as possible in every single practice. And defensive coaches, if you're going to be on the field, you got to be about 20 yards back, or any coach actually. Just be in a place for any sport. Be in a place where you're not going to affect the game. Try not to get in the way. I'm going to say, if you're on my field, I'll say you're part of the field. Just make the kids keep playing. But we want to try to avoid them as much as possible, even if we do have to kind of be out there to help them out. And that's about it. Thank you again for everybody that's new here. I appreciate your time, and I can't wait to see all of you in action, man. Appreciate you. Have a good one.